What's going on, Meta fam? We got an action-packed video here for you today, so let's get to it. First, we start out with Rare DD's post. Today marks 397 days since the MMTLP U3 halt. Guys, we're only 3 days away from making it 400. I cannot believe it's going to be this long, and we have not had any kind of resolution. But it definitely feels that, like I said, we are getting so close. And we're going to start out here with some breaking news. That's right. Drew Diligence posted here that the representative from California, Mark, has sent a letter to the SEC and FINRA expressing concerns about his constituents holding related to MMTLP, stating that multiple constituents reported non-receipt of compensation in the form of shares for the spinoff. The Honorable Congressman requests more information on avenues for resolution. Thank you, Congressman, and our California group. And here is the letter, guys. This is exactly what we want to see. More letters coming out here. Exactly. Thank you, Drew, and everyone that has been a part of this here to get this letter out. Another signature. We also have more breaking news here, in a sense. Junk Savvy posted Decision Watch. The court case of Khorsani versus FINRA, where Mark Basile is a part of it. It says here, appellate judge decides to take the appeal on submission, which means there will be no oral arguments. Basile expects the written decision in a few weeks. Updates here, and it has the court dates for the Khorsani versus FINRA and Steamroller versus OTC markets on there. And Mark Basile did his thoughts on this here. It says, MMTLP, no need to read anything negative into this decision. The court has inherent power to decide issues by submission, especially if they have no questions, which could be a positive. Just means instead of scheduling oral argument for later in January, the case is already submitted and we will get their decision sooner. So thank you, Mark, there for clearing that up. This person here said, how many weeks will it take to get a decision? Thanks. A few, maybe 2 or 4. We have one waiting time about 3 months, but I don't think it'll happen here. So there you go. Could be 2 to 4 weeks. There was a case where it could be 3 months, but he doesn't feel that this one's going to be that. So there's that breaking news as well. So 2 breaking news there right out the gate. All right. The new person we got here is the MMTLP community. We recently talked about Johnny Tobacco, how he's been helping out the community. Johnny Tobacco has told the MMTLP community to reach out here to Dennis. And that's exactly what happened. Now Dennis has his own stuff here, and he does these street bites where he's walking around and talks about clips. And the first one here says, Street Bites number 1, up tomorrow. So he's going to have more of these coming out on What's Bugging Me on Ricochet, Johnny Tobacco of Newsmax on the bizarre tale of MMTLP, naked short selling and 65,000 investors who feel they got trampled by FINRA, MMTLP, and he tagged everybody in here. All right, let's listen to this first clip.
Hello, my friends. It is a glorious morning in Brooklyn, almost 50 degrees. I'm walking to a diner to start laying down the podcast for tomorrow, What's Bugging Me? And we're going to be talking about a swirl of events that are bugging me, but especially a rather bizarre story I've come across regarding a little tiny energy company with a stock symbol MMTLP, and how 65,000 investors got ripped off with the help of federal agencies who are supposed to protect them. Hello, my...
Now keep in mind, we have more. That's right. There are 6 clips that we got here. So that was Street Bites number 1. Here's Street Bites number 2. Says MMTLP naked short selling. How is it legal to kite a check, but okay to sell shares short that don't exist? Let's listen to this clip.
This story on MMTLP comes along at a rather interesting time because while FINRA, this federal agency aimed at protecting investors, took an action that basically cost these 65,000 shareholders in this tiny energy company, cost them their entire investment. It's tied it up for over a year. There's been no justice. While FINRA did that, we've got the government dropping all campaign violation charges against Sam Bankman-Fried of FTX, one of the worst financial scandals ever. So government's protecting the guy who ripped off investors for billions. And then government's stepping in to protect investors, and it ends up ripping off 65,000 shareholders of MMTLP. Wow. This story.
Yeah, very good points there. He's talking about how they dropped the charges against Sam Bankman-Fried for the FTX scandal. So, kind of ironic because he had all that money he was donating into the politicians and all that, and all his big donor. He was a big donor. So yeah, they're protecting this guy. So that's kind of what it seems here. FINRA and SEC is all doing. They're protecting their hedge fund buddies, their golf buddies, their friends that donate them and send them the big checks. Because if they would have had to buy those shares back at the price that it would have probably went to, they would have been bankrupt. That's what would have happened. Next one here is Street Bites number 3. Let's see, Johnny Tobacco and MMTLP and 65,000 investors whose stakes were wiped out. Not because of competition, but due to government action. What the fluff? All right, let's listen to this clip here he has.
Street Bites 3 for What's Bugging Me out tomorrow. We're going to be looking at MMTLP stock scandal. And the weird thing about it is the villain in this story really is short sellers, naked short selling, where you're borrowing shares that don't exist and selling them and getting money for them, hoping to pay back real shares later if you can find them after the price plunges because you helped make it plunge. Short sellers are an enemy of capitalism. Capitalism is optimism monetized. So we'll be looking at that on the pod tomorrow. Street Bites 3.
Another great clip there. That is number 3. We're going to now move over to number 4. Street Bites number 4 up tomorrow. Johnny Tobacco, MMTLP, naked short selling. FINRA is supposed to protect investors, but it hurts 65,000 of them.
Street Bites 4 on What's Bugging Me. And here's the other thing is, it'd be one thing if this was just an investment gone bad. If they took a bet on a speculative meme stock, it went south, so they lost money. That's on you. That's your fault. It's another thing, though, when government agency like FINRA steps in, halts trading because, it's looking volatile or risky, and that ends up tying up the money and leading to losses for every one of 65,000 holders. I think the Navy Federal Credit Union is in there, okay? These are real people who got hurt by a FINRA action. So why doesn't FINRA just fix it?
That there is like a quote. The 65,000 investors were hurt by FINRA. Why doesn't FINRA just fix it? That is the question we've been asking here for 397 days. Why doesn't FINRA just step in and fix it? Because they got to protect their golf buddies. They got to protect their hedge fund buddies. They got to keep them all safe. They can't admit they was wrong. So, moving on here to the next clip. Number 5. Johnny Tobacco ripoff and another thing. So let's keep going here on his clips.
Street Bites 5 for What's Bugging Me. I buried the lead, so we're going to have on Johnny Tobacco. John Tobacco is the host on Newsmax of Wise Guys on Saturday night. Saturday nights. This guy is larger than life. It's like he's right out of the cast of Guys and Dolls, the musical. He wears great suits. He's super smart. And here's the thing. John Tobacco makes a living helping short sellers borrow shares so they can bet against companies. So John Tobacco is sympathetic to shorts, but he says the naked short selling that went on here that cost these people their investment, he says they are the villains.
Interesting there. So he says that Johnny Tobacco, the one that's currently helping us, he does help out short sellers, which we know short sellers is, good if it's actually like a legit short seller. We're talking about the naked shorts, the ones that the counterfeit shorts, the synthetic shorts, the ones that are not going about it legally, the ones that are currently trapped, the shorts that are currently trapped in the MMTLP because it's a private company. They just can't go out and buy it later when everyone would have sold out. That's the huge difference between this and a lot of other, in a sense, meme stocks. We were considered a meme stock, but we wasn't a meme stock because we actually had underlying assets that backed the actual stock. So interesting on this one, though, to where like a lot of people would just sell out after time has went on. You don't have that option here. You cannot sell out. Your shares are sitting there for zero value because the assets have not sold yet from Nextbridge hydrocarbons, or there hasn't been any kind of lawsuits finalized or any kind of decisions made or any kind of settlements done here, any kind of resolution. None of that's happened yet. Let's keep going here. Number 6, this is the last clip. Up tomorrow, naked short selling 65,000 investors trampled by FINRA regarding Forbes.
MMTLP story is really kind of interesting. And one last thought on this, okay? And you'll see more tomorrow with John Tabaka on What's Bugging Me. And that is Forbes magazine, my alma mater. I was managing editor. I loved that place. Probably the best job I ever had. Forbes magazine used to be pro-investor, but they've got a great comic strip illustration on the site now about this stock. Look for it. Explaining the story, but totally siding with the short sellers, blaming management, blaming the investors for being meme stock investors, and not getting that FINRA blew this. What happened to Forbes? It used to be a pro-business, pro-capitalism, conservative magazine.
That's a good question there. What happened to Forbes? What happened to a lot of these companies, these places that's supposed to be, helping the retail investor? They do not. They're all there to collect their check, help out, like I said, their buddies. All right, Drew Diligence here posted, MMTLP, man oh man, Dennis here is hard at work. Just got off the phone with him, and this man is very passionate about our story. He now has clips, quotes, and a steel-toed boot ready to kick some butt. Can't wait to hear tomorrow's edition on What's Bugging Me on Ricochet. So I'm going to go down here and follow Ricochet. And if you guys are not following Dennis or Ricochet, I would suggest to go do that, because there'll probably be some, like I said, updates coming on there. And Dennis says confirmed. So that is confirmed. That is all going to be done there. That's exactly what I want to see. It's confirmed. Cannot wait to see what comes out of that tomorrow. It's going to be super exciting. Hope you all enjoyed today's video. If you did, smash a thumbs up. Drop a comment down below. Love and appreciate every single one of you all. Peace.